All right, get ready, because today we're going deep into a world made entirely of Lego bricks. The Lego Movie. Now, I know, you might be thinking, oh, it's just a kid's movie, right? But you would be wrong. This movie, well, it's got a lot more to it than you might think.
Yeah, it really plays with what you expect right from the start. It opens with this huge prophecy, almost like something out of the Bible. It's all about the special one who will save the Lego universe, that classic hero's journey, but with Legos.
Right. That prophecy from Vitruvius, the blind wizard. It makes you think we're going to get that classic chosen one story. But then
Yeah.
we meet Emmett, our hero.
Yeah.
So, kind of just a regular guy.
And that's what's so great about it. Emmett being ordinary like everyone else, it's totally on purpose. He's a construction worker who follows every instruction perfectly. Just a tiny part of Lord Business's perfectly ordered world. It's like the movie is saying, hey, heroes don't have to be special from the beginning.
Yeah, it's like anyone, even the most average person, can be great.
Exactly. And you see this idea everywhere in the movie. Bricksburg, the world they live in, is bright and colorful, but it's also super strict and controlled. Everything is the same. The buildings, what people do every day.
It's like something just feels off. Like everything's not okay. Everyone follows the same rules, thinks the same way. It's almost like a dystopia.
And that's where the whole idea of creativity versus conformity comes in. You have Bricksburg on one side, and then these crazy imaginative Lego worlds on the other side, like the Wild West, Cloud Cuckoo Land, even space exploration sponsored by Octan. They each show a different way to be imaginative and express yourself.
Yeah, it's a big difference. On one hand, you have this society where everything is controlled.
Yeah.
And then you have these worlds where anything is possible.
And the master builders, they can build anything without instructions. They're like the rebels, the ones who don't fit in.
Right. And then there's Wild Style. At first, she's disappointed that Emmett isn't very creative, but it also seems like she's been let down before. Like she doesn't believe in the prophecy anymore.
Well, yeah, I can see why she'd feel that way. She's seen so many master builders try and fail to stop Lord Business. She doesn't really believe that Emmett, of all people, will be the one to change things.
But they changed, right, their relationship. I mean, she starts to see that Emmett could be great. Like there's a spark of creativity inside him, even though he seems so ordinary.
Yeah, you're right. And, oh, we can't forget about Batman. He's all dark and serious. But he's also really funny. It's like the movie is making fun of superhero movies, but also loving them at the same time.
Yeah, and his relationship with Wild Style adds something extra to the story. It's that classic odd couple thing. But it works because it's so different.
And it makes you think about how pop culture and brands work. All those famous characters like Batman, Gandalf, Superman, they're all part of this Lego world that Lord Business controls. It's like the movie is saying, hey, even our heroes can be turned into products.
Wow, that's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten to the villain yet. Lord Business. He's obsessed with order and control. He wants to use the Kraggle to freeze everything in place.
And this is where the movie gets really clever. The Kraggle, this super powerful weapon, turns out to be just a tube of crazy glue.
Oh, that's great. It's so simple. But it works. It reminds you that sometimes the things we think are scary and powerful are actually just everyday things.
Yeah. And it goes back to the movie's message about being too rigid and conforming. Lord Business is so focused on making everything perfect that he doesn't see the beauty in things being different and unique, in individuality. And you know what else is surprising? That ending. It's not just a cool reveal. It changes how you see the whole movie.
Yeah, we go from this big Lego battle
Yeah.
to the real world. And we find out that everything we've been watching, it's all in the imagination of a kid named Finn.
It's so smart. It connects the conflict in the Lego world to a real family.
Right. Finn's dad is obsessed with keeping his Legos perfect. He's like the real-life version of Lord Business.
It's like the movie is showing us how our society is so obsessed with order and being the same. Finn's dad wants everything built exactly according to the instructions. He wants everything to fit in a box. It's not a good environment for a kid to be creative.
Right. But then Emmett, this regular Lego guy, he inspires Finn to break free. It's like Emmett's journey helps Finn discover his own creativity.
It's a really powerful message about letting kids use their imaginations. And it's not just about Lego. It's about letting kids try things, make mistakes, build their own worlds without being judged.
Yep.
And the movie isn't afraid to show that creativity can be messy. Remember that scene where the master builders are trying to make a plan to get into Lord Business's headquarters? It's total chaos.
Okay.
They're all really good at what they do, but they can't seem to work together. They all have their own way of doing things, and it just creates this big mess. It's really funny. It shows that creativity isn't always neat and organized.
Right. It can be messy,
Yeah.
unpredictable,
Yeah.
and sometimes even a little destructive. But that's part of what makes it great.
Yeah.
That willingness to try new things, to experiment,
Yeah.
to fail and try again. That's how we get new ideas.
Exactly. And it's Emmett, the least likely hero, who brings everyone together. He sees that everyone has something special, and he helps them figure out how to work together.
It's interesting how Emmett and Finn grow in the same way.
Huh.
They both start out following the rules, playing it safe, but then they learn to embrace their own ideas.
Yeah. And Emmett's specialness, it's just a construction worker's hat and a positive attitude. It shows that you don't have to have some special talent. You just have to believe in yourself and have the courage to express your ideas, even if they seem silly.
I think that's why so many people love the Lego movie, even adults.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we can all be creative,
Yeah.
no matter how old we are.
It's a movie that celebrates using your imagination,
Yeah.
having fun, and never forgetting how to be a kid. And it's also really funny. And it looks amazing, and it's full of action.
Yeah, the animation is incredible. It's like watching Lego creations come to life. And the details are amazing. You can almost feel the bricks snapping together.
The way they use the limitations of Lego is really smart. The characters move a little jerky, their faces don't change much, but it just makes the movie more charming and funny.
Yeah, it's like they're embracing the playfulness of Lego.
Exact.
And the voice acting is great.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Pratt as Emmett
Yeah.
is perfect. He makes Emmett sound so sincere and innocent, but also really funny.
And Elizabeth Banks as Wildstyle is great, too. She's tough, independent, and funny.
But Will Arnett as Batman,
Yeah.
he steals the show. His voice is so deep and gravelly,
Yeah.
and he's always so serious. It's hilarious.
It's the perfect way to make fun of those dark and brooding superheroes.
Yeah.
What's interesting is they make fun of superhero movies, but it never feels mean. It's like they're just having fun with it.
And Morgan Freeman is Vitruvius.
Yeah.
He's the perfect wise old wizard,
Yeah.
even though he made up that whole prophecy.
Yeah. His voice just makes the character sound so important, even when he's saying things that are totally ridiculous. And the fact that he admits to making up the prophecy, it's a great twist.
Right. It changes the whole Chosen One story.
Yeah.
And it forces Emmett to find his own way to be a hero. I love how the movie plays with those classic hero stories. It makes fun of them, but it also respects them.
The filmmakers did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
They know how to use those familiar stories and change them in unexpected ways.
Phil Lord and Christopher Miller,
Yeah.
they're so good at mixing humor, heart, and action.
They did it with Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs
Yeah.
and 21 Jump Street.
Right.
But with the Lego movie, they take it to a whole new level.
They created this world that looks amazing and makes you feel things.
Yeah.
You actually care about these characters.
Even though they're made of Lego.
And they don't shy away from big ideas.
Even in a movie that's supposed to be for kids.
Exactly. The movie talks about conformity, consumerism,
Right.
and being yourself. But it never feels like they're preaching.
It's all done with humor and a light touch. Even Lord Business, the villain, is a complex character.
Yeah, he's not just some evil guy. He represents the stress and anxiety of modern life, the fear of losing control.
I think that's why so many people connect with the movie. It's about that struggle we all have between wanting to fit in and wanting to be ourselves.
And it reminds us that being creative is about finding that balance
Right.
between structure and freedom.
Between following the rules and breaking them.
You know what's really fascinating about this movie? It works on different levels. It's a fun adventure for kids.
Yeah.
But it also makes adults think about society, art, and the power of imagination.
It's a movie that you can watch again and again, and you'll always find something new, some
Right.
little detail or joke you missed before.
And it's not just the ideas and the animation that make this movie great. The music is awesome, too. Everything is awesome. So
Yeah.
catchy. But there are also these really emotional moments in the music that make the movie even deeper.
Yeah, for sure. The music fits the story perfectly. It's not just there in the background. It emphasizes the important parts of the story,
Yeah.
and it helps create this world that you just want to keep coming back to.
Okay, I have to ask, is there anything you didn't like about this movie? Any criticisms? I mean, it can't be perfect.
Well, you're right. No movie is perfect. I will say that the pacing can be a little too fast sometimes. There's just so much happening, so many jokes and visual gags, that it can be a bit overwhelming, especially the first time you watch it.
I see what you mean. It's definitely a movie that you appreciate more the more you watch it.
Exactly.
There's so much to see.
And while I love how energetic the movie is and all the humor, I can see how some people might find it a bit too much.
Right.
It doesn't really give you much time to just sit back and think.
That's true. It's a very high-energy sensory experience. But for me, that's part of what makes it so great. It grabs you and doesn't let go.
And that ending. with the Duplo aliens. Talk about a cliffhanger. It
Ooh,
makes you want to see what happens next.
it's the perfect setup for a sequel. And it reinforces the idea that play is never really over.
Right.
There's always something new to discover, always another story to tell.
It reminds us that our imaginations have no limits.
I think we've covered pretty much everything about the Lego Movie. Any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap up this deep dive?
I would just say, if you haven't seen this movie, or if it's been a while, watch it again. Pay attention to the details, the jokes, the little things you might have missed before. I think you'll appreciate the power of imagination even more, and remember how much fun it is to play.
Well said. The Lego Movie is a really special movie. It's funny, exciting, visually amazing, and it has a message that stays with you.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
And who knows, maybe it'll even make you want to dig out your old Legos and build something awesome.
Exactly. That's what we love about movies. They can take us to other worlds, make us laugh, make us think, and inspire us to be creative. So, until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and remember, everything is awesome. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite movies.